Everybody, my name is Saghar Estehgari and
Fabio Lombardi.
we are here for a Cybersecurity Meetup. So this is our third session. We had two before summer, and we really like it, and we're doing it again. And we hope that we continue again and again. So we're gonna have two talks. Normally we have more than that, but we thought that with these two talks, we're going to be like a full session. So it's going to be me who's talking about IoT and cybersecurity, and Fabio who's going to talk about.
I'm gonna take some XSS vulnerable machines. I'm gonna try to use a toolkit in order to exploit this vulnerability. The idea is to well, you will see.
And at the end, we have apparel. So.
Of course.
Of course. Okay, I already introduced myself. I'm a cybersecurity architect and analyst.
And myself, I'm co-founder of Bunkers. It's a startup that is hosted just here. We got a room just next to this one. And we're doing communication and product management for teams. We have a new kind of approach to this problem. So if you wanna know more, this is the website. And I've done a lot of security in my career. I did penetration testing, and I worked for Bonitasoft in the R&D, taking care about the security part of their product. Okay. So new info. We got
172 cybersecurities.
Yes.
Yes, actually, we are more than London people, because in London they have also a meetup on cybersecurity, and they're less than us.
Yeah.
So it's we are proud of it.
They have a lot of meetups of security in London. It's not just only one, but if we go on the website meetup.com, you see London Security Meetup. They got 102, 3. It's funny, you know?
So you can contact us on our Twitter and on our blog cybersecurity.com. And as you saw, we are live on YouTube, and whenever you want to come here, you can always watch us on YouTube.
And the live registration is gonna be recorded, so then you can watch it whenever you want. Cool.
So let's get to cybersecurity. Okay, this is the number of data breaches in half of 2016, the first 6 months of 2016. Can you read that? No. So last 3 months ago, we showed another number. We showed another number, which actually this number, which is from 2016, in 6 months, it's double of the whole 2015. So it's kind of shocking. Actually, I got shocked when I saw this picture, because imagine by the end of 2016 how this number will be. So this shows that this type of breaches, they were mostly identity theft. So it's like 64% of identity theft. Does anybody know? Is there anybody who doesn't know what is identity theft? Okay, identity theft, it's when someone uses your identity, like your name, your social security number, your family name, your date of birth, to say that I am who you are. So I can say like I'm Fabio Lombardi. Actually, I need to get a bit Daesh. And I have this age, this date of birth, and I am Fabio. So I go, I don't know, Japan or Thailand, and I use his identity to say that I'm Fabio. Is it clear? So imagine that 64% of these attacks were identity theft. If you want to know more about this, last meetup I gave a whole presentation on identity theft and where this information can be bought, can be used, and how the attacker used this information. And we can say that 69% of all these attacks are coming from outsiders. So they're people that are not in their company. So they're attackers, they're hacktivists, they are terrorists, they are anonymous, whoever, that they are attacking this kind of company. So 69% outside malicious outsiders. So you can see that the 27% was for healthcare. 16%, those I don't know what's that. So you have also 12% for financial, education, and retail and technology. So in all domains, you can see that the information is very valuable, and these attacks are done against these kind of activities. Okay, we have some news. I don't know you read about it or not. October 21st. Did you know about this? Any of you? So Twitter, Reddit, Spotify, SoundCloud, Netflix, New York Times, GitHub, Airbnb, Shopify, PayPal, they were targeted by a cyber attack. Does anybody know how it was done? Okay. Huh? Yes. Yes. So how it works? So there's a company called DIN. Actually, it's responsible to tell where address goes to where. So it's responsible for internet routers, or like this address goes there, so it makes the road. So the attackers they could successfully do the denial of service attack. Does anybody know what is denial of service attack? Doesn't know what is DOS. Okay, it's okay. Denial of service attack means that in our world, availability is very important. So like this computer is now working, it's available, and I'm using it to see how the live show is going on. So imagine that now somebody attacked me and I cannot use this computer anymore. So it's denial of service. So that there is no service. If I ask for a service, it will deny it. So it's denial of service attack. So the attackers, they could do the denial of service attack. How? There were source codes on the internet of the devices who were routing this internet traffic. So they were able to use this source code and does malware injection to make a botnet and be able to create a huge denial of service attack, and where 10 million IP addresses were impacted. So it means that when I was asking for Twitter, it couldn't find where is Twitter. So Twitter has an IP address. I was typing Twitter. It couldn't open the web page. It couldn't open PayPal. It couldn't open Netflix. So people were totally out of network, out of internet, and they couldn't access their accounts. So this is recent, just Friday. So I will start my first talk on IoT and cybersecurity. To give you a background, I have 6 years of experience in cybersecurity as a consultant, and I did my master's in cybersecurity in Grenoble. But I was working on IoT. I started working on IoT 6 years ago without knowing that it's IoT. I didn't know that the project that I was working on is IoT. And I figured out, it's about a year ago, that I'm working on an IoT. Does anybody know what is IoT? So what is IoT? Internet of Things. And yeah. Okay, yeah, perfect. So I'm just
Come in.
I'm sorry, I have to do it myself. I'm sorry. So IoT, as you said, is basically connecting any device, be it an on and off switch, like you can turn it off and turn it on, and connecting it to internet or to other devices that have access to the internet. Is it clear? So any device can be connected to another device, and to another device, and another device, and then you connect it to the internet to be able to collect the information that they are producing or they are capturing or whatever they are doing, they are processing. So they can include cell phones or mobile phones, include coffee makers, washing machines, headphones, wearable devices, to jet engines for an airplane, or a drill of wood lifter. So the drill that goes down to make a hole for oil, to search for oil. So you can imagine that IoT can be used in large variety of domains. Okay. Here I will present you, for me, what does it mean IoT? For me, IoT is a device. So you have a small device. It can be a very small device with a processor and enough memory. And then what it has a firmware. So it has a software going on over it, running over it to be able to process and to turn on and turn off the device. It can have HMI. HMI, as you might know, is human-machine interface. So it's like a keyboard with a small screen that you can display, or you can type in stuff to configure stuff. It can have web service. Is there anybody that doesn't know what is web service? And web pages. So it has embedded web service. It has embedded web pages. So it means that anybody through a browser can connect to the device. So these are the software part. This part is software part, and the other part, you might have different ports of communication. You can have Ethernet, you can have Bluetooth, you can have Wi-Fi, NFC, and USB. So imagine a device that is a total PC with all kind of interfaces that you can imagine, but in a very small device, very, very small device. So how we can communicate, how this can communicate in IoT world, whether it connects with another IoT device, it can communicate with another IoT device, it can communicate with a mobile application. Everybody knows how to connect with a device with their mobile application, through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or NFC, or through your PC or laptop with a software, a configuration software, a monitoring software, and be different kind of software, but it's running over your laptop. And a human user. When we're talking about human-machine interface, it can be a human user to device. And the most important part, which is freaks me out every time that I'm talking about it, is the cloud. So it can communicate with the cloud if it's connected to the internet. So every device, all the devices that we talk about, you have one device from another device, from another device, from another device, and one device among them is connected to internet and to the cloud. What does it mean? It means that whatever information from whatever domain, with whatever sensitivity, it will be collected and pushed to the cloud. So it's any more controllable because it comes out of the network and goes to another world, which is the cloud. So where they can be applied, I think that this is clear. Everything can go from cities, homes and apartments, hospitals and healthcare, industry, energy, food, beverages, oil, gas. You can, even in your body in future, you can have cells that you put in your body that they can control you, can be connected to your body. So this is the whole picture that I think that it says everything. You can find it everywhere, in a car, in an airplane, in transportation, recycling. So, I'm sorry, it's Y, it's with Y. With Y, not I. I'm sorry. Why IoT is important? It's been a while that we're looking for digitalization. So digitalization helps us to preserve access and share data. It helps us to have our life easier. Makes our life easier. It's very important. And IoT can bring this option to us. What does it mean? It means that it can convert the analog information, whatever it was from a device, to a digital format. So everything can be connected to IT world. So everything can be processed by IT world, which is big servers, big PCs, everything that we are used to right now. So why exactly is it important? Because data is the oil of digital economy. So the more data that we can capture, the more easier for companies to make business, to track you, to figure out what you want, to figure out what you like, what you do in your life. They can control you. So this kind of data helps the companies to change their business model, to invest on you and who you are. And that's all the point behind IoT. So, what are the impacts? Are there any? Any guess? Any cybersecurity impact? Do you think that does it concern you? Anybody say anything? Yeah. Yeah.
Most of the internet camera you have at home is not very secure.
Yeah.
They can hack into your camera, they can watch what you're doing. And for most people, they don't change the password, your router. You control the camera, you can go to the router, and with the router, you can access to your local network. Then just about everything is connected to the network. We pass
Yeah. Perfect example. Tesla is one of the. There are researchers from in September 2020 that they have published that they were able to stop a Tesla from 12 miles. So they could hack the Tesla car and put a malware inside the car and be able to break and stop the car from 12 miles. So, to get more into this detail, I would love to show you some videos. I turned on your FaceTime, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, okay, attends. Does anybody watch a Mr. Robot series? Did you watch it till the end? Or you're in season 2? I just want to know. Season 1. Anybody season 2? Oh, great.
I mean, nothing is wrong.
I think you got the gist of a smart house. So, during my work, okay. During my work experience, I was hired by people who were asking me to help them to secure their smart houses or smart cities offers. And the thing that makes me sick, and at the same time I was wondering why I was there, that I couldn't convince them that it's very, very important to secure the smart houses, because they think that what's gonna happen, the water gonna be hot, or the chauffage won't work, or it's nothing, people don't care. But I always said that it's important because you never know what's gonna happen, what an attacker will do. So if you see this series, you will see that at the end, this woman leaves her house and the attackers come inside her house and live there for a month or two. So it's possible. Everything is possible. For me, it's like when you have technology and everything is connected, everything is possible. So let's see the other movie that is mostly like scientific, but it's another example. Oh, pardon. Why it's not working? Ok, c'est bon.
My name is Atul Prakash. I'm a professor in electrical engineering and computer science at the University of Michigan. We are going to be showing you how a hacker can open your front door. The idea is to improve the safety of your home and to allow you to monitor what's going on inside your house and to remotely potentially control it. Unfortunately, this also opens the door to potential vulnerabilities, and we're going to be showing you some attacks that are possible, which should give homeowners some pause when considering deploying these kind of technologies.
Okay, this attack involves a homeowner who has installed a smart lock on their front door and is using a battery monitor app to monitor battery levels. However, I have written this app and I've encoded malicious instructions in it to send me an SMS message whenever the user programs a PIN code. This will let me enter the home whenever I want. So I've received a SMS telling me the code the user has just programmed, and I'm just going to walk over the home and unlock the door. So as you can see, the bolt turns and I can unlock the door. The second attack exploits an app that the user has downloaded from the SmartThings app store that allows homeowners to remotely lock and unlock door locks. I'll send a message to that app using my browser, and it will let me program my own PIN code, even multiple PIN codes if I want to, and it will allow me sustained access to the home. As you can see, the bolt turns and I can open the door.
We have reached out to Samsung and SmartThings team on the vulnerabilities that we found in their platform. So if you're considering using these technologies, you should analyze from the perspective of what's the worst case scenario, which in this case often would be that a hacker has at least as equal access to your smart devices inside your house remotely as you do.
In the past 2 years alone, hundreds of millions of consumers have been affected by.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about a bit of cybersecurity. So, just one of them, please. So let's talk about cybersecurity a bit, because whatever we saw it's a lack of cybersecurity, but we have to know which parts are the most important and which parts are lacking in the scenarios that we saw, or the scenario that we talked about Tesla, or even the news that we talked about for Twitter and PayPal and whatever. So cybersecurity is based on three concepts: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So confidentiality means that the information is accessed. It's confidential, and nobody can have, the people that they don't allow to access the information, they cannot access it, and it cannot be disclosed to malicious people or the people that they are not permitted. Integrity means that the information won't be tampered and will stay as it is. So if I put age 12, it will stay 12. It won't change to 32 without the permission. So the person who is not permitted is not able to tamper the data. Availability, we talked about it in the first minutes of the session, is that we are making sure that information is always available and can be used by legitimate users. So it's always available, and there is no denial of service. So here we have the integrity and availability that we're searching for software, availability and confidentiality for hardware, and the communication. We make sure that the confidentiality and integrity preserved for communication. So as you see in the previous video with the door lock, there was a lack of integrity and confidentiality in communication. Why? Because the person, first of all, he could sniff the code that the person has set for the door lock. So this is the confidentiality part. There were no confidentiality. And the other one was also integrity, because he could change the code in whatever he wanted to, or he could add another code for himself to get into the code. In world of IoT, the most important thing is availability, because whatever that we are going, the more smarter we got, the more we are dependent on the devices. So the DOS attacks will be more crucial to us, meaning that we have to make sure that we have always availability considered in our offers, any offer, any services, or any product design. So the CIA, which is CIA, is not the Security of America. So the CIA is provided by 3 A's: authentication, authorization, and accountability. So authentication makes me sure that whoever is legitimate, only the legitimate people can access my device, my information, or my data. Authorization makes sure that the legitimate user, it means that first we have to have authentication, and after you got authenticated, you are only authorized to access the data that you have permission for. You cannot access another data that you are not permitted. So each user can have access to certain data, certain devices, and certain type of information, and they will have to stick to that. They cannot go and search other devices, that other information that are not for them. Accountability makes sure that any alteration to software, hardware is detected and reported. So if somebody attacks you, you need to do logs, you need to detect it and report it to your superior. So is it clear, the CIA and AAA? Any questions? If you have any question, please don't hesitate, because these things you might hear it every day, but it's important to understand because it's very the base of cybersecurity, and you can, whether you're technical or not, this is the base that you have to know about you and your data and your privacy. Okay. Yes.
As a hacker, I'm able to get through authentication and authorization things, and then accountability. I also do it, but So the report will be sent automatically.
It depends on your system. It can be reported, it can be audited. It means that after an attack, an expert will come and get the log file and then start auditing to say what happened, which user, which accounts were used, what information was stolen,
To find the victim.
yeah, to find who was guilty.
Okay.
Where that's why, you know, after an attack they will give out their data. It was from this hacker, this hacktivist, or they figure out the IP addresses and yeah. Okay. So again, we go back to the video that we saw. What was the problem there? There are 5 problems, and you can find it everywhere in IoT system. No matter it's smart city, smart house, industry, you can find these 5 crucial stuff, and if you don't find them, there's a problem. So the first is the secure authentication. You have to authenticate human, software, and devices. So you have device-to-device authentication, software-to-device authentication, and human-to-device authentication. Because we always think that of authentication, oh, I put my username and password and you get authenticated. But this is human-to-device authentication. But you have different layers between human and a device. It can be a software, it can be a mobile application, it can be a cell phone. You have to authenticate each one of them because any of them can be compromised. The lack of secure communication. We talked about it just a minute ago. So if you don't have a one-to-one communication that is secure, then your information can be sniffed. Your information can be changed. Everything can be injected. So you can change. The lack of DOS protection. So any denial of service attack can provide unavailability of the data or the device. Because at the end, every device shall be tested against a denial of service attack. The lack of input validation and integrity checks. So they can install a malware, as we talked about the news or we talked about Tesla. So there is no input validation. A person can send the data and stop the car because it's not checked, it's not validated, they don't check that the origins are okay. And the lack of secure firmware updates. So if you just leave the devices as it is and you don't do an update, even your PCs, if you don't do updates, then there are a lot of security holes that you don't fix. If you don't fix, then you're going to be in trouble because there are people who are searching for people that they don't do updates, to hack them, to exploit their vulnerabilities, and so on. Okay, by 2020, there will be 26 billion connected devices. So it's about 4 times more than population of the world. So I think that shows the criticality of the problem of our future. So some people they said that it's fourth industrial revolution. So you can see the industrial revolution. So the next step is the IoT, and IoT is our future. Maybe today it's not that clear for us. We don't know is it IoT or not, but tomorrow, in 4 years, even 2 years, we will see the difference. We will see that all over us, even in houses, you don't have any other option. Everything is connected. Everything gonna be connected. And the more and more people wants to collect information, control you, monitor you. So, what should we do? As a consumer, be aware of potential risks. Be aware of choices you make and ask for cybersecurity. If we don't ask for cybersecurity, the companies won't change. That's the important part. This is why we are doing this meetup, because I work on companies and they think that they don't have market for cybersecurity. So I'm working on normal people, the end users that we are here, that to know that cybersecurity is important and you have to ask, you have to make the change. and we don't, then the future gonna be the smart house that it was hacked, or you're gonna have smart doors that they are attacked, and so on and so on. These are only 2 examples. You should go on the internet and ask for, search for IoT attacks, and you will see lots of videos on these things. So, and then configure your device. If you want to buy a connected device, configure your device in a secure way, and change the damn default password. This is very important. Most of these attacks, maybe the one that from 21st of October, one of the biggest problems was that the devices weren't changed for the default password. There were no change of default password. So admin was there and they were typing it right away. So please, please, please change your password. It's the important part. It's the first entry point for every attacker is a password. And care about your privacy. Please go and see my slides from previous meetup. You will see that I talk about the privacy, your data, where we are concerned about identity theft, and you will get more aware of what are the possibilities and how they do this kind of attacks. As a developer, there might be a developer here. Please learn about cybersecurity and increase your awareness and skills. It's very important. Do trainings on cybersecurity. Ask for trainings. Ask your companies for trainings because it's important. If not, just ask for experts to help you from the design stage, and do security by design. Add-on fixes are not good. What does it mean? It means that you cannot develop a device, develop a software, develop a system, and then you come and ask me, please secure it for me. It's impossible. If I secure it for you, it won't be secure as when you do it by design. It's very important. So, it's end of my talk. Any questions?
Thanks. Hello. So it's my turn. So the name of this presentation is called "I'm Watching You Through XSS." I hope there was more people from the previous session, because in the previous session we introduced what was the OWASP project, which is an open source web application security project. You can find all the common and the good practices in order to fix vulnerabilities, to discover vulnerabilities in your website. Now you can fix them. So the OWASP, every year, more or less, we publish a top 10 of the most dangerous and impacting vulnerabilities, and we said that we're gonna address one of those each session. But this time I would like to do another exercise. So in the previous session, Saghar did a great presentation explaining us what is the SQL and the XSS. It was very good, but it was more theoretical stuff. Theory, not practice. And you can watch on the www.cybersecurity.com is the blog of Saghar, where you can find all the slides, all the information about the meetups. And we had as well the first time of the live streaming stuff, so you can watch the and so we got this thing on XSS and the social engineering, another great presentation from Mulud, who unfortunately cannot be with us tonight. Was explaining what is social engineering. Again, if you want to know more about these things, you can find the links there. So what is my point is that when we explain what it is an XSS, when we do a penetration test, I try to put in the context. Everyone know what is a pen test, an intrusion testing? Penetration testing is a penetration testing. You know everyone? No. Okay. So penetration testing is that I was working as a consultant before, I was in Paris, and my job was to hack my customers' websites or networks. The idea was that I go with a set of checklists and ideas, and I try to test all the vulnerabilities. And when I found something, I said to my customer, "All right, I found this. This is the way to fix it." So XSS is one of those vulnerabilities, and it's basically a way to. I do very briefly, then you will see the other presentation to see more. Is a way to execute some code, inject some code on the browser. So when the victim goes on this web page and is vulnerable to XSS, some JavaScript code will be executed on the web page. So you can do things. And my point is that when we do a penetration test, we stop here. We said, just, this. I open a pop-up and I say to my customer, "You got an XSS." And we say, "Okay." It's scary. It's not so scary. And so sometimes you say, "Okay, maybe I will fix it later, maybe not. I don't know. It's just a pop-up." But it's not true. The reality is that, deeper, we got much more. And this is why I'm presenting you some practical stuff. I will start with using a beef, which is not, the thing you eat, but it's a browser exploitation framework, which is indeed a set of. We're gonna use it together. It's a set of tools that you can use it in order to execute some code on a victim page. Okay. And in order to do that, I'm gonna use a Kali. Kali is the new version of Backtrack, which is a Linux distribution for pen testers. So Backtrack is the name for this Linux. Linux has many different distributions and a version of
like Windows, like Mac.
Yeah. So. And they got several different ways, and they did this. They did the most advanced penetration testing distribution ever. And what we got inside, we got it's a playhouse for hackers. You go there, you get everything you want, everything is ready, you can use it, and you do whatever you want. And that's what we're gonna do in practice. Thanks. Saghar, tu peux voir si ça stream le photo? Okay. Cool. So in order to do that, I'm using virtual machine, because otherwise I would use this distribution in the co-work network. It wouldn't be very happy. So hopefully okay. So here I am in my distribution in Kali. So as I said, I try to do the demo, everything in one virtual machine. In the real life, you're gonna have an attacking server and a victim that are quite far away from each other. But in this example, I show you that, for example, in Kali, you got all those tools like information gathering, vulnerability analysis, web application analysis, and you got a lot of categories, and you can play around. You can try things in this way. I will not do a demo of each of them. Maybe one day we're gonna discover more and more. We're gonna focus on one or another tool. Today it's gonna be this. You can find in the exploitation tools beef XSS framework that I already opened here. So cool. Beef. So the right side is gonna be the attacker side, and the left side is gonna be the victim side. So you can see the beef. So you're gonna have several things, several options, commands to execute, and things like that. The point is that when we will have a victim, it should appear here. We have a victim, and then we can attack it. Okay. So how we can find a victim? So in this example, I went on the OS project webpage, and there is a part which is called, it gives you a list of vulnerable machines in order to play, in order to test, in order to learn about security. So you go there and you can test your skills, you can hack, you can do whatever you want. So in this case, this web page. So I see an input box, a search post. So what I'm gonna do here is, how I was doing my job before when I was a penetration tester. We're gonna focus on the XSS vulnerability. So I see search posts. So I'm gonna write some strings, and I see that. Okay, for who is not technical, it's gonna be a little bit tricky, but keep the overall picture. I see that what I write is displayed to the web page. It means that maybe I can do something like script alert. It's already there. Alert XSS, which is the point I was saying before. So usually when I do my job, I finish my job. I say, good. I gained some 5 points somewhere. Say, good job. You found the XSS. But now we're gonna do more. Say, okay, this web page is vulnerable to XSS, and they see up there that what I write in the search here is the same thing that I can write in the input box. It means that I could send this link to someone I know, say, click on this link, my friend, or I do some stealing of identity, as Saghar was saying before. I would do something. I will mix it with the social engineering stuff that Mulud explained us. I can do whatever I want, but I will send this link, and the guy will use this link, will come here, and what we're gonna do, we can attack his browser. So we're gonna control the client machine, the victim machine, in some way. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use what BIF control panel tells me, which is what I got, not here. It says that in order to attack a client machine, you need to inject this thing. So I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna go here, and hopefully it works. Okay, if it worked, in a few seconds should have the online browser here. Yes. So the guy, the victim, didn't understand anything. Just click on a link and that's it. And now on the attacker side, I can see some information about the browser. I can see that he has installed Flash Player, which means that I can do good stuff with it, and a lot of other information. And what is very powerful about BIF is this commands tab. Please wait. And so we got many things. For this presentation, I'm gonna focus on the social engineering part. And what I would like to do is that I told you it's like a playroom for kids. I got like here. I would like to do some. I like this. Pretty theft. Pretty theft. We do something very nice. He said, ask user for the username and password using a floating div, and I'm gonna say Facebook. Execute. So on the victim page, I got the Facebook login pop-up, which is so I say, oh my god, I've been logged out. So that this is my username, password. Okay, hello. And now, if I log in, we go back to the server, and here, can you see here? I got, this is my username, double points, hello. I got the username and password clear. I can do, yeah, the same thing with, and it's very easy, you know. With LinkedIn, same thing. Hello. Hi. Okay. Another similar stuff is about the Google. Let's see if it worked. Yeah. Hello. Hi. Is the Google phishing. This is impressive because sometimes, you know, with this pop-up that comes in, okay, a lot of people will go inside and will click and will send their credentials, but other, you know, they say, come on, that's not good, I'm not on Facebook, you know, strange. But the Google phishing is so good because look at that. I mean, all right, I agree with you, you know, the URL is different, is not, yeah, but the page is, you know, is the real one. So again, hello, so bad, sign in. So here I got a redirection that I could, you know, exploit better, but the point is, again, hello, sorry? Yeah, I had a redirection, but the important thing is still here, you know, and again, it's done. And very easy. And what I would like to do now is one last part, which cost me, you know, I haven't slept too much last night. Because indeed, so what I would like to do now is to take a picture with the webcam on the customer, on the victim. And indeed in Beef, I got something which is called webcam, but it doesn't work anymore. I say, oh no, it was 10 p.m. yesterday. I say, oh shit. So what I did, I tried to do it by myself. So in order to do that, go back to our vulnerable page. And the I take this one, and so what I gonna put here, it's a bit more complex. It's this thing, okay? Which is basically, you know, something that takes a picture with the capture JavaScript here. I'll not go much in detail, but yeah, I take this one. I hope the hardware will work. Yeah. The only problem with this is that he asked me to share my device, but we can do some social engineering things. Okay, you see here? Okay, we haven't seen anything. I just click on that, and here I got this long screen, which is something that. So I'm gonna select everything. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's like Matrix, but. So, what is this? Actually, it's the output of the command. I will take this one, Ctrl C, and I'm going here. Basically, it's a representation of something in a code which is called base64, and I'm gonna find an online tool that does base64 to image. Okay. Image converter. So if the thing that did this job is string should be. Yes. So okay, that's not the best picture I ever made, but but you got the point, right? Okay, so what I showed here that I can, yeah, fine. Take pictures. Take pictures. So you can do this like I could have like a timeout that takes a picture each 30 seconds. So I could reconstruct a kind of video after, something like that. Yeah. So this is the presentation, the demo. Let's go back. Yeah, it worked. Okay, take off this one. Cool. If I go back here, hopefully, okay, cool. Live. So this was the demo. What's behind beef? Okay, for the non-technical, I'm going very briefly. What I would like to say with this slide is that there is something that we don't see. This is very, kind of powerful. Because this was my machine. The control UI will, start the server, and when I got a zombie, the zombie is the victim. When the victim goes on the link, and I got it as a victim, it will happen something we call the polling. A polling is like an iteration. A lot of time, the server will say, do I have new zombies? So yes, no, yes, bam. And when it finds a new zombie, it goes in the user interface that we see. And on the other side is when my server will send a command, like for example, show the Facebook login page. Again, on the victim, this is this screenshot I took it from the victim. On the victim, I got this polling. Say, do I have a new command to execute? Do I have a new command to execute? Until the day you got a command and you execute, and then you give back the answer to the server. So this is the architecture, quite complex, but from one side we got a very complex architecture, and on the other side you have a very easy to use user interface. Okay, the webcam part was a little bit trickier, but the Facebook, LinkedIn, Gmail account, very easy. So what is the message behind this? Is that easy is not equal to it's useless. It's not that. On the contrary, if it is too easy, it is very dangerous. Because this guy is what we call a lemmer. Lemmer is a kid. They say, I would like to be a great hacker. So he goes on it goes on the internet, say, how can I steal, Facebook password? And it goes on beef. And he will install it, he will use it, and you saw that the actual manipulation is not difficult. So this, the thing I would like to share with you is that even if it seems easy, it doesn't mean that it's not impacting, it's not dangerous. And there are a lot of tools that makes the life easy for these guys. So keep this in mind, and when we have some security recommendation, we need to be focused on it. Thank you so much. Questions? Des questions? Yeah. No, this is the server I put on the attacker machine. The attacker machine, I will run a server, which is gonna have an IP address. The IP address is the address that I put in the hook. The hook is the script that I injected to the victim page. No, that's why there is a pooling stuff. The pooling on the victim page will say, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, because I got the IP address of the attacker in the script that I injected on the victim page. And so in this way, the server can know if there is a zombie alive, and if it's under command, the victim will receive this, and will execute on his machine. I don't know if it's clear. Yeah. Excellent.
When they execute this code, then what is done is that their own computer connects to the server of the attacker.
Yeah.
And
this is the polling step.
So that's why he needs to have a server, because the code that is executed by everyone is the same and contains the address.
The address. Yeah. So, thank you so much. The other question? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or using it, I'm definitely sure this is used or created by another company. If they can get
Okay. So it's a great question. The point is that usually things like beef are open source. What does it mean? It means that nobody, anyone in the world can have a look to the code. Which means that what you're saying is that if the guy who created the application put something we call a backdoor, if the software is open source, you cannot have a backdoor, because there are a lot of people that are looking at the on the source code. And I know we don't usually see this, but there is a lot of people that don't know why. And they say, beef. I don't like this, the button on the right side of the page. It will do something, pull request, it will do some modification, it will ask. So a lot of people watch the code. This is a protection for, it's a kind of protection. I say this, you always need to be careful. That's why, for example, myself, I use these things in a virtual box. And this kind of protection. But the open source stuff is really, the thing that you cannot do bad stuff. So easy.
And the other thing is that it's an attack on client side. So it's your browser as a client. So your browser is attacked. It's not on the legitimate server. It's not on the legitimate server. So the server doesn't know what is the IP. It is not aware of such attack. It's because it's your browser, and that's why they are manipulating you to, with JavaScript or whatever code, to enter your password or whatever. It's your browser who was infected and connect to this beef server. So there is no logging, there is no reporting, there is nothing. So as a client, you're not protected. You don't know who it is.
It's a legitimate, good question, because this is an attack client side. But you got a lot of, all the tools we saw on the list. They could have backdoors, of course. But the idea is beyond is that you got also this community of Backtrack, the Kali, the distribution of the Linux distribution that backs everything. I think they do a kind of code review of the things they're selling. So I mean, there is a danger, but it should be mitigated from the community. Yeah. Oui, pas de souci.
Est-ce que justement, c'est possible de cibler, parce que à peu près, constitution à peu près 5 groupes de milliers de macrophobies, ça peut avoir peut-être, et obtenir pour une personne en particulier, ça peut être beaucoup plus intéressant.
Oui.
Est-ce que c'est possible de cibler?
Bah, dans l'exemple, pardon? Voilà, ça c'est ce que j'ai dit. Hein. Voilà. Tu as fait ton social engineering. Bah oui. Regardez là. Regarde. Voilà. Et voilà. Voilà, c'est quelque chose comme ça. Oui, 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 oui. Exactement. Ah, c'est ça. Mais le point, c'est qu'effectivement, comme j'essaie d'expliquer, merci, la partie de social engineering, tu peux la faire avant. C'est là que tu vas targeter ta cible. Et par contre, après, on est d'accord, les victimes, les zombies, ils vont avoir des adresses IP différentes. Et je peux targeter quel zombie je veux attaquer quand même. Ah. Oui.
Sachant que l'adresse IP n'est pas fixe.
Oui,
que je ne sais pas.
oui, mais en fait, dans l'exemple que je montrais, c'est aussi, il faut aussi que la victime soit aussi sur le site qui a été pris en main, quoi. Si on arrête la page, le browser, si on coupe le browser, c'est fini, quoi. Dans ces cas-là. Après, il y a des techniques plus avancées ici. Vous voyez là? Persistance. La persistance, c'est justement ça. Même si le gars, il ferme son navigateur, je vais essayer de garder la connexion le plus longtemps. Enfin, là. Ah, eh ben, tu peux voir la position de la souris. Heureusement, les banques, ils changent la position des chiffres à chaque fois, quoi. Du coup, si une fois c'est comme ça, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, à la fois d'après, ce sera une autre combinaison. C'est
impeccable dans ce cas-là parce que tu as accès à JavaScript, tu as bien le mot de passe brand envoyé au serveur. Ça aide pour les trucs où tu vois, tu captures
oui.
Oui, mais oui. Ça, tu as accès à JavaScript.
Oui, tu peux éventuellement voir effectivement la requête HTTP. Mais si jamais il y a une côté crypté de données ou des trucs comme ça, peut-être ça peut être plus difficile de voir la chose en clair, quoi. Et voilà. Ouais, bon. Questions are in French. Oui, non, mais ça va.
Du coup, on parlait de persistance. Comment, du coup, savoir que le site est visité c'est important d'aller vérifier les trafics pour voir les prestations. Parce qu'il y a moins, je sais pas, pour savoir que là, parce que c'est pas ta faute, toi, tu as visité.
C'est un très bon point. C'est pour ça que cette presse, c'est pas pour l'utilisateur le pauvre, quoi. Il doit pas cliquer sur les mauvais liens, mais c'est pour les boîtes, c'est pour les entreprises. Quand je te dis il y a une XSS, c'est pas une connerie, quoi. Voilà, c'est ça. Mais honnêtement, je sais pas si quelqu'un dans la salle, il connaît un endroit où il y a un listing de sites. Non, je pense pas que.
Et ça peut être changé.
Je sais pas, j'ai un plugin.
Mais c'est intéressant.
Un gun qui te dit
Mais non.
Après, il y a tous les côtés, je disais Java, le côté non, Adobe Player. On sait très bien que Flash, le plugin Flash, il y a des soucis, il y a des problèmes. C'est pour ça qu'il est de moins en moins utilisé. Hein.
Il y a aussi des
Ah.
Ouais.
Mais
Ouais, good luck.
le problème avec ça, c'est que la plupart des sites ne marchent plus.
Voilà.
C'est que
Exactement.
là, en fait, le plus important,
Oui, c'est ça.
le conseil le plus important que je peux dire, c'est que d'abord, regardez tous les liens dans le toolbar.
Ouais.
Regardez, est-ce que c'est vraiment Google? Est-ce que c'est vraiment Twitter? Est-ce que c'est vraiment Facebook? Est-ce que c'est vraiment... qu'est-ce que vous êtes en train de chercher, quoi? Et deuxièmement, quand vous recevez un mail, regardez bien la partie de l'adresse email de la personne qui l'a envoyé, en fait.
Oui.
C'est vraiment important. Et par exemple, il y a pas mal de mails qui te fait choquer en disant que wow, il y a un problème avec ma banque. Avant ça, avant que vous cliquez sur un lien, regardez bien l'adresse que vous avez. Ça. Et si c'est pas bon, c'est @xyz5.com. Ne cliquez pas. Ah oui, par exemple, youtube@hotmail.com. Ça, c'est vraiment
Pas mal, c'est
évident.
Ah, voilà. Très bien.
Après, non,
C'est bien.
Parce que quand j'ai tapé, je me suis dit, dans un autre site, c'est deux mots et tout.
oui, bien sûr.
Et j'ai regardé sur le papier, ah bon, il y a 2 points, il y a un F de trop, il y a un... C'est vraiment...
C'est bien fait.
Ouais. Le truc le plus important que je me fais moi-même, parce qu'il y a des fois, je reçois aussi des mails qui sont c'est quoi? Et ça me fait douter quand même que c'est vrai ou pas. Je regarde, je vérifie toutes les images, est-ce que c'est bon ou pas? Le lien, je vois, est-ce que c'est vraiment le lien?
Très bien.
Il y a encore des questions ou pas?
D'autres questions?
C'est raisonnable en fait de demander les gens de ça. Par exemple, si tu dis Deactivate your script, si tu connais Deactivate your script, je pense que tu as déjà rencontré la plupart des gens. Mais la plupart des gens, tu ne veux pas demander des choses comme oui, avant de cliquer ça, c'est trop compliqué pour les gens. Donc, je pense que le modèle de sécurité aujourd'hui, il y a beaucoup de choses à faire. On ne peut pas toucher tout l'utilisateur.
Oui, bien sûr, mais après, ça fait partie de technologie. C'est que, en même temps, on a la technologie qui rentre dans notre vie. On n'est pas éduqué à utiliser. C'était la même chose avant, je sais pas, il y avait toujours un truc nouveau, et les gens commencent à apprendre et tout. Et là, ça fait partie de la technologie. Il faut comprendre, il faut apprendre pour éviter tout ça. Sinon, on sera perdant. Il y a pas d'autre solution aujourd'hui. Parce que c'est un monde ouvert.
Je suis d'accord que avec le machine learning, l'intelligence artificielle, on pourrait faire des trucs peut-être intéressants de ce point de vue. Par exemple, j'imagine, hein, je n'ai pas fait de recherche, je suis en train de brainstormer comme ça, mais si je reçois un mail, j'ai un plugin dans mon navigateur qui me dit déjà le lien affiché et le vrai lien derrière, c'est pas le même, il y a un problème. Non, c'est des petits trucs. Et si ça n'existe pas, on le fait demain. C'est une idée parce que c'est un... Ah, voilà. 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 Ah. Ça va.
Mais après, il y a...
Ça va.
C'est ça. Mais après, moi, je suis sûre que si on fait cette plugin, les attaqueurs, ils vont trouver une autre solution pour avoir des liens qui sont corrects, qui ressemblent corrects. Ils sont vraiment intelligents.
C'est toujours la guerre.
Et ça, c'est pourquoi on fait ce meetup,
voilà.
pour éduquer les gens qui viennent ici, pour comprendre mieux.
Je dis c'est pour nous.
On ne sait pas que cette éducation doit rentrer plutôt dans la méthode.
Oui.
C'est-à-dire que j'ai un enfant de 10 ans, et il va sur Internet, il va cliquer. Moi, je suis bien en France, son père aussi.
Oui,
ça va.
Donc, cette éducation, je suis entièrement d'accord. C'est pas facile de dire, écoutez, vous devez aller là, là.
Oui.
Mais comment le prendre? Dans la vie quotidienne, tout.
Oui, bien sûr.
Mais il faut. Là, je pense que c'est une éducation comme
À
en
fond.
anglais.
Oui.
Comme apprendre l'anglais, il faut commencer.
Attends.
Ça va.
Sinon,
Après,
c'est comme. Nous, on est même pas des parents. Voilà, j'y mets, et là, je reçois de sa copine, et là, je vais cliquer. Forcément, il va pas faire attention que le lien là et l'autre, c'est la même chose.
Attends, je vais aussi moi.
Il faut que j'ajoute un truc.
Vas-y.
Après, il y a une autre remarque. Jamais donnez votre laptop de travail à vos enfants. Jamais. Ou à quelqu'un d'autre. Parce que c'est votre travail, c'est tous les autres documents confidentiels, tous les autres documents, je sais pas, importants, personnels, qui est sur votre portable de travail. Et si votre enfant fait une erreur en cliquant sur un lien ou installer un malware, là, il y a un problème pour la société que vous travaillez. Ça peut être un point d'entrée pour un attaqueur. C'est vraiment important. Moi, je n'ai jamais porté mon portable de travail à la maison. Et si je l'ai pris, c'est toujours dans le placard. Jamais. Jamais donné mon mot de passe de mon portable, même si personnel, je suis un petit peu parano en plus. Jamais donné mon password de portable de travail à personne. C'est vraiment important de prendre ça en compte. Okay, so this is the end of our meetup. So the next step, we're gonna have a new date for our next meetup. It's going to be in a month. As the start of the scholar year, we're gonna have one meetup per month. Then we talk with Fabio. We are coming up with more technical meetups. It's hands-on security. So here we're gonna have more trainings. Like you're gonna bring your laptop. We're gonna work together, like the demo that Fabio shown. You start learning more about cybersecurity and more about the software that you can use to actually penetrate, do the pen testing on your devices or your software to make sure that it's secure.
And of course, don't hesitate to propose talks and subjects. It's very, very, very hard for us to, because we have a full-time job, which is very, very time-consuming. And we would like to have more, people that they can propose subjects about, things around cybersecurity. The first idea, 4 months ago, was to keep it not very, very, very technical, in order to have different points of view. What I mean with this, I would like to have one day maybe a lawyer that comes here and say, you're running a startup, you got this personal client information on your servers, what's your responsibility if there is an hack? I'm co-founder of a company, and I would like to know, you know? And I think there are a lot of people that do these things. Or maybe a marketing guy say, listen, security is a pain in the ass to market. Because why? Because it's not sexy. It's not the new brand new iPhone and the new, security, bad guys. How we could market this. And other things. And the idea was that during the apero, you can mix knowledge, networks, and meet other people all around this thing. So it can be this thing, or maybe you know how to hack a car or a smart house, you see. Come and show us. Do a demo, So I saw one time a presentation on the Human Talks about HTTPS. The guy who did this presentation is in this room, so you could also maybe join us and do a nice presentation on the HTTPS. Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, really, we would like to have more input from the external. Thank you.
And please give us your feedback on Meetup after this session. You can go and write a comment for us. If you don't like it, give us 1 star. Say, they speak English, not French. You can write whatever. It helps us to get better. And please, if you have any subjects that interest you, and actually it's good for me because I learn. When I do these things. I work in IoT, but when I was start searching, I'm like, oh my God, I'm learning more and more. So if you have any subject in mind, please give us a comment on Meetup, or send us email or contact us by LinkedIn, and let us know. And please share our Meetup, share it, tell others to come, or join us online to learn together.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Okay, the aperitif is
Apero time. Yeah, the best.
behind. As always, we have the box. If you can just donate a little money to us to continue the aperitif, it would be great. You're not pressured to donate with it, but it's gonna be gonna be an honor if you do that.
Bye.
Okay.
C'était très bien. Merci. À la prochaine.
Merci. Au revoir.